Imagine a football soccer club on the brink of extinction. Its once glorious past now a distant memory. Its future almost certain death. That was Real Oviedo in 2012, buried under mountains of debt, forgotten by many, and left in Spain's lower leagues to slowly fade away. But in a miraculous twist, the world's second richest man, Carlos Slim, and his son-in-law, Arturo Elias Ayub, stepped in. Was it an act of pure passion for football, or, like many billionaire deals, was there more to it than meets the eye? Before we get to Slim and Elias Ayub, let's understand how Real Oviedo, a club with a proud history dating back to 1926, ended up at death's door. Real Oviedo's early years were filled with promise. The club became a fixture in Spain's top division, producing legendary players like Luis Aragonés and Carlos Muñoz. However, starting in the late 1990s and into the 2000s, things went downhill fast. Mismanagement, financial missteps, and back-to-back relegations saw Oviedo slide from La Liga down to Segunda Division B. The financial crisis of the early 2000s hit the club hard, and Real Oviedo couldn't cope with the pressure. Debts piled up as the club spent beyond its means in a desperate bid to stay competitive. By 2012, the debt had ballooned to millions of euros. At their lowest point, the club was forced to issue a public cry for help. Without 2 million euros to cover debts, Real Oviedo would cease to exist. For many, it was the darkest hour in the club's history. But just when things seemed hopeless, something extraordinary happened. The fans took charge. In 2012, Oviedo's management turned to its most loyal supporters, the fans. A crowdfunding campaign was launched, asking for contributions from anyone who believed in the club's survival. Fans from all walks of life stepped up. It wasn't just locals. Football fans from all over the world responded. Even international players who had ties to Oviedo joined the cause, including Juan Mata and Santi Cazorla. In just a few days, the club raised over 1 million euros. It was an incredible feat of fan loyalty, but still, it wasn't enough. Real Oviedo needed more. The club needed a savior, and that's when Carlos Slim, through his son-in-law, Arturo Elias Ayub, entered the picture. And then, out of nowhere, Carlos Slim, one of the wealthiest men on the planet, swooped in to save Real Oviedo. But it was his trusted son-in-law and top business associate, Arturo Elias Ayub, who really led the charge. But why? What was their real motivation? Arturo Elias Ayub, known for his role in Grupo Carso and as the CEO of Telmex, a major telecommunications company controlled by Slim, was deeply involved in sports and media ventures. He had long shown interest in football, particularly the Mexican scene, but his decision to step into Spanish football raised eyebrows. Through Grupo Carso, Ayub purchased a 34.5% stake in the club on behalf of Slim, injecting the capital needed to stabilize Real Oviedo. Elias Ayub was not just the face of this rescue, but also managed the day-to-day negotiations and communication with the club's management, ensuring that Slim's investment would have a lasting impact. His personal passion for football drove much of the decision-making. The news shocked fans, and questions quickly followed. Why would a Mexican billionaire and his son-in-law care about a struggling Spanish club? Was it a passion project, or was it a shrewd business move by Ayub, leveraging his father-in-law's wealth? With Slim and Ayub's backing, Real Oviedo wasn't just saved, they were given the chance to rise again. Over the next few years, Slim's investment, led by Elias Ayub, helped stabilize the club financially. New management strategies were put in place, and a long-term plan for growth was developed under Ayub's guidance. On the pitch, Real Oviedo began to climb back up the ranks of Spanish football. After years of financial chaos, the club returned to Segunda Division and began competing once again for a spot in La Liga. Fans returned to the Carlos Tartiere Stadium in droves, and the club started attracting more attention. Ayoub's hands-on approach brought renewed hope to the club's supporters, with Slim's global reputation backing it up. But let's not sugarcoat it. While Real Oviedo's story sounds miraculous, both Slim and Elias Ayoub have their fair share of controversies. Could their rescue of Real Oviedo have had ulterior motives? Slim's business practices have raised eyebrows for years. In Mexico, he's been accused of monopolistic practices, particularly in telecommunications, through his control of América Móvil. Critics argue that his dominance stifled competition, keeping prices high for consumers. Elias Ayoub, as a prominent figure in Slim's conglomerate, has also faced criticism in his role managing various ventures, particularly in media and telecom. Then there's the controversy surrounding the construction of Mexico City's Line 12 metro. Carso Infraestructura y Construcción, a subsidiary of Slim's conglomerate, was involved in the project. In 2021, part of the metro collapsed, leading to deaths and raising questions about Slim's and Ayoub's companies and their accountability. In Spain, Slim's connection to construction giant FCC, Fomento de Construcciones y Contratas, where Elias Ayoub plays an active role, has also faced scrutiny. FCC has been linked to various corruption scandals related to public contracts, although Slim himself has remained distant from direct accusations. So, was Slim and Elias Ayoub's purchase of Real Oviedo part of a bigger business strategy to expand their influence in Europe? Or was it a way to polish their public image after years of negative press? Despite the controversies, Carlos Slim and Arturo Elias Ayoub's intervention in Real Oviedo is undeniable. The club survived, and today, they continue to fight for a return to glory. Real Oviedo's resurgence remains one of football's most inspiring comebacks. Without Slim's and Ayoub's investment, the club would likely have disappeared. Yet, questions still linger about their true motivations. Was this purely a football rescue, or a part of a larger business play to expand their influence in European football and beyond? One thing's for sure, Real Oviedo is alive, and its fans have Carlos Slim and Arturo Elias Ayoub to thank. But whether this fairy tale will have a happy ending is something only time will tell. What do you think? Was Carlos Slim's and Arturo Elias Ayoub's rescue of Real Oviedo a miracle of football fandom, or a business strategy with deeper motives? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you love stories like this one, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. We've got more sports stories coming your way.